I actually remember getting really hyped about getting myself sorted. I had one of those, those light bulb moments where something just clicks in your head and you're like, oh, I need to do this. And the path towards success, or whatever it is that you need to do, kind of gets set out for you, or at least vaguely, where you kind of know where to follow. And I started actually focusing in the gym, and I'll start doing my good habits a lot more often, such as reading and meditation. And I was reading this one book at the time called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And I'd read about these two conversation techniques, and I really wanted to implement them as soon as possible, so then I can move on to the next principles and implement those and soon get a bit more involved in the book. I was waiting for an opportunity to actually use my conversation techniques, and I remember getting in a conversation with my friend, and he mentioned something about this party, and this party was going to have people who we didn't know. There was just going to be a bunch of new people from a different school who we didn't know, so it was going to be different to the other parties that we'd been to. And I thought this was a great opportunity to try implement my techniques because it was with people that I didn't know. The time of the party came around, we went to the party, and I decided to use these conversation techniques on this girl that I found attractive. And we actually hit it off, we had a great conversation, it was a great time. And she actually ended up asking for my number. Now keep in mind, bro, I had not talked to a girl in like 2 years at this point in time. So I was cooked as soon as I got this little bit of female attention, because I was deprived of it for so long. The next day, it seemed like she was interested in me. Like we would talk, we would message here and there. She was busy, but then she would be complimenting me and all that kind of stuff. Like the typical, honeymoon period when you start talking to a girl. And I really wanted to see if this would go anywhere. The problem that I came across was that I couldn't focus on anything, because I would be thinking about the things that she had said, what she was going to say. I would keep checking my phone, opening, closing messages, see if she'd messaged me or not. And everything else that I had to do was sacrifice in the pursuit of just making sure I knew what the right thing to say was so I didn't fumble. Spoiler, I ended up fucking fumbling, but that's not the point of this. It's that I couldn't focus on my work because I made her my priority. I made writing the messages, I made trying to understand what she's trying to say and constantly thinking about it, I made her my priority. I would be sitting there in school and the teacher would be saying something and I genuinely could not understand a single piece of information they were telling me. Because all that was going on in my head was, this girl, has she messaged me? Oh no, she hasn't. And then every time I would check the messages and there was no message from her, I would get slightly hurt. And that's not to say that I wasn't doing all the other things that I thought were productive. Like, it's not like I wasn't going to the gym. It's not like I wasn't meditating and I wasn't reading. I was still doing those things, but nowhere near to the extent that I had planned to do. And what I noticed was that as soon as we stopped talking, as soon as the situation ended, my productivity slowly made its way back up. And the reason that I was so unproductive was because I made her my priority over everything else. And since that moment, I haven't put a girl above me and my work, priority-wise. They will always be under me and my work. And that's not to say I don't enjoy being around them. That's not to say I don't like them. That's not to say I don't love them. But that's to say that my work and me are much more important and much more valuable assets to me at this time. Because I know what it's like to have the priorities switched, because I've had it happen so many times. Back in lockdown in 2019, 2020, when I was talking to this one girl, she was my only priority. I had no other priorities. And no wonder I couldn't focus on anything else other than her. My hands would be on my phone 24/7. Constantly open, close and snap. Oh, where are you? How you doing? Like, I couldn't fucking focus on a single... I couldn't read a line in a book. And it was lockdown as well, so you had the fucking Zoom meetings in school where I would turn my camera off and then switch on my Xbox and start playing fucking Rainbow Six Siege while the teacher was trying to explain some concept which would be really useful to me in my end of year exams. You have to set your priorities straight. You have to sort them out in order, and if you put something above your work and yourself, you're going to have to sacrifice your work and yourself in order to put the attention on that thing on the top of priority list. So it's up to you what you put on the top of priority and how much effort you put into each of these things. And what you notice is that if there's a specific thing you want to focus on, say specifically your work, which is probably the reason why you've actually clicked on this video, your work, you want to focus on your work, you need to switch your priorities. Whether it be gym as number one, whether it be your friends as number one, or whether it be your girlfriend. You need to switch your priorities if it's really what you want to focus on. The connection between focus and diet has been really vague. I mean, for me at least. I wasn't ever really sure about how much my diet impacted my ability to focus on a task and how sharp my brain would actually be. And I feel like it's something that's really chucked around a lot, where it's like, oh, you need to do this with your diet, do this with your diet if you want to focus. But it's genuinely something that's helped me in the long term at least, and even in the short term. I used to wake up every morning, and within an hour of waking up, I would eat a toast with Nutella spread across it, with a little piece of banana on top and a whole glass of milk before I went to school. I would eat actual shit, actual trash before I went to school. Like, no fucking wonder I couldn't focus. And you see, I thought it was okay at the time because I didn't know any better. But I would get lucky if I could maybe focus 30 minutes on a task in the entire day. Bro, my ancestors, my caveman ancestors would be so disappointed in me. Like, they went out with a fucking piece of wood to kill animals so that they could bring it back to their families and their tribe. And I'm out here just eating fucking Nutella shit spread across toast. I eventually gave in to this entire cutting out carbs and sugars from your diet and decided to try it. I cut out the carbs and sugars and I stopped eating the fucking Oreo Crunch dairy milk bars, all my muffins, all my bread, all that kind of stuff. I stopped eating them. And I started eating only meat, vegetables and fruit instead. And specifically raspberries. I don't know why, but they're the ones that appeal to me the most. And what I've noticed is, ever since I did this kind of experiment, is that my productivity and my focus has skyrocketed at least 10 times. And the amount of work and productivity that I'm able to put into my day is absolutely, it's insane. And I guarantee you, 99% of the population could not follow my schedule on a day-to-day basis just because of how much I've been able to focus and sit down and be productive. Solely based on my diet and my priorities. I can't stress how much my diet has had an impact on my efficiency and my ability to focus. I'm telling you right now, if you cut out all this processed shit from your diet, you'll find yourself becoming much more productive and much more focused on the things that you have at hand, even on the things that you don't want to do. You'll be much more focused and much more inclined to do work, especially throughout the entire day. Your procrastination is going to stop. Your productivity levels are going to increase. I did come across one problem though, and it's that it's as much as it's about cutting out carbs from your diet. In the gym, I'm more of a power builder that's my training method, and lifting heavy is kind of my forte. But if I don't have carbs, I don't have enough energy to go train, and I feel really lethargic and lazy when I am in the gym. So what I've found as a way that would work for me, it doesn't have to work for you because you might have like a different digestive system and all sort of that. But what I found has worked for me is that I will eat carbs before I go to the gym. So all my hard work that requires mental effort, which is such as recording these videos for you, scripting my videos, going to school, all of that, I don't eat carbs during that time period. But after school's over, I will eat carbs and then go to the gym. Because my brain being foggy doesn't affect me that much when I'm in the gym. And then after the gym, when I get home and I have dinner, I'll also have carbs. Not a lot, but there will be carbs in the food that I eat after school is over. And to be honest, it doesn't affect me very much because I don't do that much high intensity work between that period after school. Because once I come home and I eat and then I read a bit, I just go to bed. And I wake up and right now I've eaten nothing. I've been up since 2:54 in the morning and I've eaten nothing. And that's why I'm able to be so sharp and so focused on the thing that I'm doing and be able to speak to you because I haven't eaten anything. So learn to fix your diet. Stop eating the processed garbage, stop eating your Oreo Crunchy Dairy Milk bars, and put in meat, vegetables, and fruit into your diet. And I guarantee your focus will skyrocket. Right, this point of focus really gets me annoyed a lot of the time because it takes me back to the time, say around last year, where I had every single social media app on my phone. Name it, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Reddit, everything. And I would use almost all of them on a daily. My screen time was 9 to 10 hours a day. Let me say that again so it actually hits you in the fucking right brain spot. 9 to 10 hours a day. I would watch TikToks past 12 a.m. I would wake up late, watch TikToks, and throughout the day build up a 9 to 10 hour fucking portfolio of watching TikToks instead of doing any actual work. Like, no wonder I couldn't focus on anything. I would watch so much social media on a lot of the days where I would completely drain myself. By the end of the day, I was lifeless. Like, no cold shower, no workout, no diet was gonna save me from those kind of days. I couldn't focus on anything. I would sit down to do a piece of work and my attention would be fucking spiraling to the birds outside the window, the calluses on my hand, or the fact that the PC's wallpaper needed changing. My focus was on everything but the work. Which is no wonder I wasn't able to be productive. No wonder I wasn't able to do the things I wanted to do. Maybe because my attention span was so fried that every 5 seconds I would have to switch to something else that was a bit more interesting than the thing that I was doing. And I was always stuck in this state of lifelessness and drained because of social media. These fucking evil corporations coming out here, making scrolling with your thumb a normal thing, a human interaction, so that if I move my thumb, maybe I'll get some fucking dopamine instead of doing the work that's in front of me. Again, at the time I thought it was normal because everyone was doing it. And I thought my attention span was normal because everyone had that. But it's not. It's so autistic. And I kept convincing myself that maybe I was just tired that day and the next day I'll be better. When it was clearly right in my hands the problem that was actually causing me to have these issues. And it was only when I deleted all social medias and started reading, started watching long form educational content instead of this short form fucking bullshit, that my attention span was actually able to repair itself. And that I was actually able to concentrate on a task longer than 5 seconds. I'm now finally able to sit down for 1, 2, 3 hours straight and not feel like I've completely ruined myself for doing work. Okay, so listen up. I'm going to give you a really good actionable step right now. And some people aren't actually able to grasp onto this, so I want you to really pay attention here, okay? Really focus, okay? And some of you won't even do it because you're such fucking pussies. But I'm going to tell you what it is. Delete TikTok. Delete Instagram. I already know some of you are thinking, oh, but Vange, my friends are good, my friends text me on there. Stop fucking coping. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you can go melt your brain in real time if you want to. That's on you. But I'm just trying to give you advice here. I'm trying to give you some sort of educational sentiment to delete these apps. Because maybe you'll actually be able to focus on something. So stop fucking coping and delete the apps. But if you don't want to, you can let your brain melt into soup in real time. And then tell me how you feel within the next couple of months. Get off this short form content bullshit and actually get your brain fixed. Get it to think straight. And then maybe you'll be able to focus on the things that are in front of you. How are you getting symptoms of ADHD when you're actually you're normal? You have the ability to focus on so much work. There's people out there with actual ADHD who can't focus, and you have fucking symptoms of it because of fucking TikTok brain and swiping on your Instagram reels. Focus. Delete Instagram, delete TikTok. Set your priorities and fix your fucking diet. The thing is, all of these things round out self-improvement in itself, because if you fix all those things, you're not only becoming more focused on your work, you're becoming more focused on everything around you. And you're improving as a person while you do it. So do these 3 things and I guarantee your focus increases. Go get it, man.